Jada, Jada, Jada. The world's biggest hypocrite in history. So, she's about to publish a tell-all called No Holds Barred Memoir. So ask me this. What made you want to write a memoir about the secret of Will Smith and Tupac? Would you have some dirt behind them? Because to be honest with you, I don't think a narcissist should be writing anything based on what happened on your dumb talk show when you be telling people your business and now the whole world knows about it. You could have kept it to yourself. Or you just could have said, you know what? Certain things just need to be left unsaid. But nah. The Red Table Talk Show is terrible. It ain't good for your health. It's not good for your mental health. So the thing that really bothers me about it is the fact that they take little to no accountability for the things they do and say, and yet we're the ones left to blame, to apologize, to make amends, to change things around in life. And yet women like this, they got away with so many things. Yeah, she confessed her sins, confessed to her cheating ways to Will Smith. But that marriage is doomed to be divorced. It's doomed from the start. Because you know that ever since August Alsina came into the picture, I don't know what made them want to have an open marriage, which is number one, the biggest red flag ever. But it's another thing to make this whole relationship even worse, even if y'all are public figures. And if it were me, I would never put my business out there. I would have dealt with the situation privately and quietly, because I sure will not get on TikTok, get on YouTube, and pick up the phone and record my personal business so that everybody in the world, especially on social media, can judge me. Y'all don't want to attack the person who did the cheating the most, but you would rather attack the husband because he's not fighting, he's not putting up a backbone. And you know what? Y'all will be going through the same thing if y'all were in Will Smith's shoes. Since here, Jada Pinkett Smith is publishing a No Holds Barred memoir. The Red Table Talk host said her new book will celebrate feminine power.
Stop the cap.
And chronicle her life from her uncontroversial upbringing to falling in love with Will Smith. This is cap. This is all cap. I'm sorry. Because if you calling yourself trying to celebrate women empowerment, then you are the biggest joke of them all. Because that's telling us that you don't want to take any accountability for the things you started. Can't forget about the award show when you gave Will Smith the side eye because Chris Rock told a joke about the so-called alopecia, which you did not apologize to Chris Rock. Can't forget about that. Come on now. Jada Pinkett Smith is not holding anything back in her new book and using the opportunity to celebrate authentic feminine power. You see, once again, this is just cap. She's doing this because of cash grab. This is just her trying to call herself taking accountability, but yet you feel good about what happened before. You knew exactly why your husband went up on stage and sucked the piss out of Chris Rock, and yet you were on TikTok a while back saying that you don't care what people say about your bald head, and yet you got offended when Chris Rock got up on stage, did what he does best. His job to make people laugh, tell jokes, and you got offended by it. And then you have your simp of a husband, Will Smith. Yes, he is a simp, a blue pill simp. Because if he were a man, he would have went up on stage and tell Chris, look, my wife has a condition, please don't make fun of her. But instead, you had him go on stage and assault a man who is doing his job as a comedian. And I don't think Chris Rock will ever be the same again after that incident. So if anybody should be blamed, it's you. You started it, now you need to own up to it. That so-called apology video Will Smith did, that wasn't sincere. He still protected you. Because if it was really sincere, he would have just apologized to you in person. Or called you. Don't go one step and take 2 steps back. You say you're sorry about whatever, but then you going to simp mode once again by defending a narcissist of a wife. I'm sorry, but I'm just calling it like I said, y'all. She is definitely capping. The Red Table Talk host announced this week that she will be publishing a yet-to-be titled memoir with Day Street Books, an imprint of William Morrow Group at HarperCollins Publishers, in the fall of next year. For people, according to the press release for the forthcoming book, Smith chronicles lessons learned in the course of a difficult but riveting journey, a roller coaster ride from depths of suicidal depression to the highest of personal rediscovery, and the celebration of authentic feminine power. Depression and suicidal thoughts is the worst thing any human being can feel. But at the same time, you thought you're doing something, but you think people are gonna respect what you say in the book, and yet you still didn't take no accountability for what happened at the Oscars. So where's the accountability at? There is none. Even when she made that video on her talk show calling for truce and peace for Will Smith and Chris Rock to make amends, that is not a woman that is not apologizing. That is a woman who is taking no responsibility for her actions. Am I supposed to take that person seriously? No. The release goes on to say, with no holds barred, Jada reveals her uncontroversial upbringing in Baltimore, from a child of 2 addicts to a promising theater student and a violent interlude as a petty drug dealer, followed by a parallel rise to stardom alongside her close friend Tupac, then falling in love with and marrying Will Smith, and a joyous embrace of motherhood. It will also examine why Smith found herself in crisis at age 40 and recounts the excruciating choices she was forced to make to redefine her life in every way. The description concludes, at the heart of this powerful book are 2 unexpected love stories, one being Jada's complicated marriage to Will Smith, and the other being the one with herself. What? So you're having a complicated marriage with Will Smith, but you're having trouble loving yourself. I think what you need to do is just own up to your mistakes. You did that on your talk show and you think that it's okay to cheat. No, it's not. And yet, you caused the fight between Will and Chris Rock at the Oscars. So, I think what you need to do is work on yourself. Smith spoke also shortly after her husband published his own best-selling memoir, Will, in November 2021, co-written with Mark Mason, the author of Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. You know what? Can't say the word, The vice president, editorial director of Day Street Books, said in a statement regarding this new memoir, "The world has imposed many labels and narratives on Jada Pinkett Smith. This is down to the realest of our media landscape, but also the roles thrust upon women by culture," she continued. "At the center of all the speculation and false stories is a woman who, like so many women, had to reconcile her personhood with the needs of those she loves. This memoir is Jada giving the world her truth, taking readers on a journey from a lost girl to women warrior." Cap, once again, this is all cap, like I said, because it's like you're telling people about your upbringing, but at the same time, you're calling yourself celebrating women empowerment. Authentic women empowerment. What does that mean? You know, honestly, this is just cap. I'm sorry, y'all, but I have to call it like I see it. I can't take somebody seriously who cannot take accountability for what she's done. You're hurting your marriage. You're hurting Will Smith. You drove the wedge of you and your husband and Chris Rock. Then you call yourself embarrassing him online when he doesn't want to be filmed or record. It's like you're completely going against his wishes. You're dealing with foolishness. Yeah, here you are just making yourself look like a villain. I mean, apparently that's what the world sees you as, because you're not it. It is my great honor to take that journey with her. Cat. If y'all want the article, I will post it in the description. Here's my thoughts on this. Like I said, this is just Cat. This is her taking no accountability once again to tell her story about her, how she was brought up in Baltimore, Maryland, to the woman she is now. But did she forget the mess she created with Will Smith, August Alsina, and Chris Rock? You have alopecia, and you don't hear what people say about you on social media, and yet you got offended when Chris Rock told a joke about you about G.I. Jane 2. Then you got your simp of a husband to go up on stage and assault a comedian who was doing his job, and you want both of them to make amends after everything you've done? I'm sorry, but this is just pathetic. Like, why would anybody want to buy a book of a narcissist? I'm sorry. I mean, to be honest with you, this is what no accountability feels like, y'all. I'm telling you, accountability is women's, and I mean a lot of modern women's, kryptonite. And you got some males out there too. A lot of dudes that don't take accountability. We've always taken accountability and we know how to back it up. Women don't. And this right here is the prime example. So, no. Don't nobody want to buy a book. Listen, the only people that want to buy your book are narcissists and women with no accountability that get away with so much. And feminists too. And personally, I blame feminism. Feminism has completely messed up women's minds and everybody's minds. Because they're just designed to ruin people's lives and have their mindsets all messed up, saying that men are this and that. But what about y'all? Don't y'all got flaws too? As for Jada, I think this is cap. I think this is an embarrassment. You can call yourself telling a memoir all you want, but at the end of the day, nobody is ever gonna forget what happened at the Oscars, and that you confessed your cheating ways to Will Smith. Lastly, having an open marriage is a joke. I would not have an open marriage if I was married. It should be between me and you. We can have friends and family, but we ain't gotta be having an open marriage because I don't want to see other people and then come back to my wife. That's the red flag. It ain't finna happen. I'm sorry. Like I said, if y'all want the article, I will post it in the description. So, like I said, this is all cat. I don't like it. She thought she did something. No. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna see you in my other video.